There we go. How are we doing? Let's do a little tweet. Get some more people over here. Hi Ash5966. Hello Hayden. Right, Twitter. I've just restarted my computer. Is it going to make me log in to Twitter? Nah, that's good. Sorry, I'm just tweeting. One sec. Just give me 1 second. Okay. Hi there. How are we doing? Basically, I'm here because I have to paint my nails pink for Brenda Payne tomorrow. I don't have to, but I've had my nails pink for all the other shows, and so I feel like it would be very inconsistent of me not to do the same tomorrow. Because basically I painted them gold for Christmas because I had gold spots on my dress and wanted to coordinate. Do you like a bit of coordination? Oh. Hi Mum, my mum's watching. Brenda Payne is the character I'm playing in the Christmasaurus, which is on at the Hammersmith Apollo. We have 4 shows left. A lot of people have got tickets for Christmas, which is very, very exciting. I hope you enjoy it when you come and see it, if you come and see it. It's a really good show. What do you do with all the stamps from the letters you are sent? Good question, Caitlin. All the stamps go in this little pot here. Don't know if you can see that. I collect them in this pot, and then I send them to the British Hedgehog Preservation Society. And they... I don't know what they do with the stamps, but they can raise money with the stamps to help their... to help the hedgehogs. I've been doing that ever since I have been sent mail to my PO box, and I will continue to. I think I made a video ages ago called Help the Hedgehogs, in which I explained where all the stamps go, and that is where they go. Will you be at stage door on the last show of Christmasaurus? It is unlikely, because the last show I have 3 friends coming to see the show, who I will need to take care of after the show. And I'm assuming, I say take care of, I mean like I will have them with me and I will need to be with them because they are my friends and they very kindly come to see the show. And it's the final show, which means I'm guessing there will be drinks within the theatre for the entire cast to celebrate a very magical Christmassy run of the Christmasaurus. If you waited at stage door on Friday after the matinee, I'm very sorry, but we all stay within the theatre because we all need to get food. Because we have 2 shows. Obviously, you came to the matinee, so you know that there's an evening show, which means we all need to eat between shows and sort our lives out. I edited a video. I edited my my charity video between shows on Friday, which then went up on Friday, I believe. Yeah, it did, because it went up between shows. But yeah, the thing about Christmasaurus is that you have three guys from two very successful, or one if you think of McBusted, but McFly and Busted. You've got three guys from two very successful English bands. You've got Giovanna, who's a very, very successful author and presenter, you could say, because she's done a lot of presenting on Lorraine and that kind of thing, and a YouTuber, and me, who is an actress, author, and YouTuber, which means stage door is cray-cray. Stage door, there's literally like 100 people every night, and I did it for the first... How long have we been doing this? Was Thursday our first night? Was Wednesday our first night? Thursday was our first night. I went out on Thursday and Friday night, and I left on the Thursday at 9:30, and I didn't get on my train until about 10:20. And on Friday, I left, because Friday was press night, so I left a little bit later. I left at 10, and I didn't get on my train until 10 to 11. So staying out there and making sure everyone is seen to takes a very, very long time. And of course, it's Christmas, so on Saturday night, it was Christmas Eve, we all had to get to family. We all had to get home to family, and Tom and G had to get home to their sons, Buzz and Buddy. I often just accidentally call them Buzzy, like a ship name, because their names are very similar. Buzzy, Bud and Buzzy. No, Buzz and Buddy. I'm very tired. So yeah, it's just not possible to get around that many people after every show. Because with the amount of names that are within this show, it means the amount of people at stage door is sort of like quadrupled. But don't think that doesn't mean that we don't like really hugely appreciate you coming. We wouldn't be doing the show if we didn't love it and think it was worth watching, whether people come to stage door or not. What do you want to be your next role? I don't know. I've got a couple of things lined up for next year. Nothing that I'm allowed to tell you about at the moment. And also nothing like... I'm not like doing a show in London, and I'm not doing a UK tour. Thank you very much, Chloe Louise. Very sweet of you. Yeah, I'm not like doing another tour, UK tour next year. Or a job in town. For those of you wondering why I'm looking down, I'm painting my nails. I'm not just ignoring you or being shy or antisocial. Yeah, I've got a few things lined up for next year, including my own concert. But I'm also enjoying the thought of having some time off to be a human being for a little while. Being in a show is tough. It's hard work, and it requires a lot of energy and a lot of physical exertion, which kind of takes its toll on your body after a little while. And your life doesn't really feel like your own, if I'm honest. You feel like, because you're playing someone else, you already feel a little bit sort of detached from your own life. But then, you also get told what you're doing the day before you're supposed to do it, which means you can't make any outside plans. It's really, really tough to keep up like friendships, because you'll make plans with someone, and then the day before you'll get your schedule for the following day, and they'll be like, yeah, we need you in the theatre from 10 o'clock until 10 o'clock, like 10 a.m. until 10:30 at night. Which means all your plans have to be cancelled, and there's nothing you can do about it because we're paying you. Also, your image, you can't like as soon as you sign a contract, you cannot change anything to do with your image. I was talking about this with Ollie last night. Like, You can't change anything. You can't cut your hair. You can't grow a beard if you're a dude, or if you're a girl and you want to grow a beard, you can't do that. If you want to, I don't know, suddenly put on a bunch of weight or lose a bunch of weight, that could impact your job. There's so many things that you can't do any extreme sports. You can't go skiing. You can't go roller skating. They even sometimes put a stop to you going to theme parks. Because, you might break your leg or you might injure yourself, which then impacts the show. So when you're in a show, there's so much sort of that you have to sacrifice. And when you've been in a show for, you've been in shows for like 4 or 5 years straight, the idea of having a few months just to be yourself sounds really, really great. So I think I'm going to do that. If something comes along that I really want to do, then I will totally do that. There's still a couple of things that I'm waiting to hear back from. And if, that turns out, if it turns out that I get one of those things, then of course I'm not going to turn it down, because I love being in musicals and I want to continue doing that. But if nothing comes along, that's also okay. I'm also happy with that. Someone said that doing a live stream and painting your nails means painting your nails takes double the time. I am so good at painting my nails and not giving it enough time for my nails to dry, which means they end up getting all squiffy, and I end up redoing them. So I'm hoping that doing a live stream whilst I'm painting my nails means that I'm giving my nails time to dry, because I'm talking and answering questions instead of instantly jumping into using my hands and like playing. Every time I paint my nails, I suddenly get this urge to play the ukulele, and then I'm like, well, that's my nails ruined. What did I do today? Well, today's the first day in a little while when I've been able to have a lie-in without jet lag screwing me up and without having to get up for rehearsals and or a show. So I took full advantage of that and woke up at 12:30. I then had a couple of hours to myself, just have a coffee, watch an episode of Breaking Bad, which I'm on series 5 of now, by the way. And then I had some shopping to do, because what with being in Singapore and then going straight into rehearsals for the Christmasaurus, I haven't had a huge amount of time to go Christmas shopping. So my presents for my family were a little bit naff. It was mainly just vouchers. No, I think it was actually 100% just vouchers. Sorry about that, family. But today I went out and got some actual presents for my friends, Scott, Ollie and Molly. Because Scott got me some great presents. And I had a couple of things for him, but not nearly enough. And I see Scott tomorrow. I see Ollie the following day. And I should be seeing Molly at New Year's. So I needed to get them presents and then had to wrap them all. And I finished wrapping them at 8:00. So that's pretty much been my day. What was my favourite Christmas gift? This blanket behind me was given to me by my mum and dad. It was on my Christmas list because my parents didn't know what to get me, and I was like, well, there's this blanket I've had my eye on since I went to Dublin and saw it in the window of a shop. And so they got that for me, and I really, really love it. It's a really, really great blanket. Tom and G got me a ticket to go to an escape room with them. I've never done an escape room. I'm told that I might be quite good at it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I do love blankets. I like blankets and jumpers and socks. Like, people always say, oh yeah, I got socks for Christmas. Like, oh. If you get the right pair of socks, a pair of socks can be an amazing present. I got some really great socks this year. I even got some really nice slipper socks from Scott. Which I don't know why I'm not wearing them right now. Where are they? I think they're in my bedroom. I can't put them on anyway because I'll screw up my nails, but... And pyjamas. I feel like Christmas wouldn't be Christmas if you didn't get pyjamas. Thank you very much, Daniel. That's very, very sweet of you for 500 bars. Thank you. Can I flip my eyelids inside out? I can't tell you that I've ever tried. Nor do I really want to, because I don't really think flipping my eyelids inside out is a talent I wish to possess. Strangely. Have I ever had any auditions go... let me start that sentence again. Have I ever had any auditions go wrong? I've forgotten the words to a song during audition before, but I wouldn't really count that as going wrong because an audition isn't necessarily to test your memory, it's to test your talent. And usually the people in the audition don't really mind as long as you're doing well. I've never really screwed up in an audition, but I've had auditions go badly in that I was once shooed out of a room. I actually had someone say to me, I think that's all for today, don't you? And then shoo me away. So, I didn't think I did that badly. I didn't think it was worth shooing me out of a room. Thank you very much, Harry G, for the 1,000 bars. It's very sweet of you. I didn't think my audition warranted being shooed out of the room. But I was their last audition of the day. And, sometimes they can be a little bit harsh. No. That was before I got into Les Mis. That was a kind of, if I'd stopped then, because I came out of that audition, I was like, do I really want to be an actress? Do I really want to put myself through that kind of rejection? Do I really want to continue having that happen to me and willingly put myself in that position? And then 2 months later, I auditioned for Eponine and got it. So, had I given up then, I wouldn't be here. I would have just given up and that would have been it. I'd be working in, I don't know where I'd be working. I probably just would have gone back to school. I would have gone to university or gone to drama school or something. But because I sort of pushed through that rejection and was like, no, I know I can do this. I know I'm not worth being shooed out of a room. I know I'm worth someone taking a chance on me. And then 2 months later, I had my first audition for Eponine, and in the room, they said to me, we'd like to see you again next week. And I was like, amazing. And then the official, recall came through. I had another audition. Where was my next audition? I think I had, because my first audition was at RADA. And then I think I had another audition at RADA where they asked me to perform more of the song, more songs, in front of the current MD. And then they called me back again to go to the theatre and do a 45-minute workshop with the resident director, which is where they paired me up with Rob Houchin. And then my final audition was at the Wales Millennium Centre. The Welsh Centre. Wales Millennium Centre is the theatre in Cardiff. It's called the Welsh Centre, I think. I think it is anyway. It's in London, King's Cross. And my audition was at 11:45, because you had 11. So at 11:45 to 12 o'clock, I had a slot to go in for 15 minutes and sing through my stuff. So I went in at 11:45, and Cameron McIntosh was supposed to be arriving at 12:30, but he actually turned up at 3 o'clock, and then I didn't leave until about 7. So that was a very, very long. That was like a 7-hour audition, which was hefty, to say the least. So yeah. How long does the audition process take? It all depends on what you're auditioning for. Sometimes there's like 4 rounds. Like I did 4 rounds for Les Mis. I did 1 round for Truly. I did 2 rounds for Adams, because I did 1 self-tape and then 1 actual audition. But when I was a kid, I did 12 rounds for Chitty. Yeah. So it all depends on what they're looking for. Sometimes they just won't know what they're looking for, and so they'll just keep calling you back over and over again to pair you up with different people until they figure out what they want. Thank you very much, Chloe Louise. Sorry, sweet of you. Do you know what your next job is yet? I've got my own concerts coming up next year at Cadogan Hall on March 31st and the 1st of April. I think I have something else coming up in January, but I don't think I'm allowed to say anything about that yet. Tickets are still on sale. If you go to club11.com or .co.uk. I'm not entirely sure which it is. The link will be on my Twitter, though, if you go and have a look. So I've got my own concerts at Cadogan Hall. I've got something else in January, potentially. I have got something else next year, but I'm not allowed to talk about it yet. I've got another book coming out in July. So, yeah. I've got enough to keep me busy next year. And if something else acting-wise comes up, then it comes up. And I will think about that when it arrives. Will I do Dear Tom and G again? Yes, I will. Adam's Family sort of took over my life for a little while there. Is When the Curtain Falls a dark story you started writing during Chitty last year? No, it's not. I started writing another book, which is a bit darker, but then I had the idea for this one, and I was more excited about this one, so it took precedent. Thank you very much. I don't know how to pronounce that, but thank you very much for the 1,000 bars. It's very sweet of you. Will you be doing a book tour for When the Curtain Falls? I should be. Yes, that is the plan. Why is it when I paint my nails suddenly all my skin gets itchy? If asked to, would you dye your hair for a role? Yes, I offered to dye my hair for Adam's Family, but they just said it'd be easy to wear a wig, so I was like, okay, no worries. Come further north into Scotland this time. I'm guessing you mean for the book tour. It's sadly not up to me where I go on my book tour. I'm going to ask, like, if I have the time this year, then I'm going to ask to do a slightly more extensive book tour. Because for the last 2 years, my book tour, well, for every book tour I've done, for the first book tour, I only had 3 days holiday from Les Mis to cram in Manchester, Birmingham, London and Liverpool. And then for the last 2 years, I've been on tour. So the book tour has had to be structured around the UK tour, the theatre tour that I was on. So next year, if I have the time and I'm not doing anything else, I will take like a 2-week slot and do a proper, like, extensive book tour, as long as that's okay with my publishers and publicists and everything. When you fill an occupation, do you write actor or author? Usually I put like performer or something like that. It's always really difficult. I never know. Entertainer. Sometimes you put something like that. Usually I put actress though, because I write whilst I act. Acting is usually the thing that I am constantly doing. Is the Christmas Stories being filmed for DVD? Not that I know of, but things may change. I don't know. Have you seen The Greatest Showman? No, not yet. It only came out today in the UK. I still haven't even seen Star Wars, so I might try and convince Oliver Ormston to come and see that with me on whenever he's here. I can't remember when he's here. What is currently your favourite musical? It's a really difficult question. Probably Anastasia, because that's one I've been listening to the most recently. And I did download The Greatest Showman soundtrack the other day. There's a song called Million Dreams in that, which I am obsessed with. Ollie is seeing the Christmas. I can't even say it. Christmasaurus. Ollie, thank you very much, Philip. Ollie is seeing the Christmasaurus on Thursday, I think. He's seeing the final show with Scott and my friend PB, Paul Bradshaw. The 3 of them are coming to see the show, which I'm really excited about. Scott's already seen it. Scott saw it on opening night. Thank you very much, It's Loose. Did you choose the designs for everything on the Hopeful shop? Yes, I did. I didn't design them, but I chose the designs. I was sent a lot of different variations on certain designs. But things like the Hopeful t-shirt and the polka dot t-shirt, I said I want a t-shirt that says like Hopeful all over it, and I want a t-shirt that's polka dotted, that doesn't look obviously like YouTuber merch. And yeah, and then we decided that we wanted to have a new range, and I had recently made a video called "Only Love Is Spoken Here," and Cornelia, who I work closely with at IRL, she suggested doing merch based on that idea. Thank you very much, Sophie K. So we've got cushion covers now that say Only Love Is Spoken here, and all the designs are based on things to do with me and my channel. Like there's a crossbow for Wednesday, there's slices of pie for All That She Can See, there's a little door and birds for On the Other Side. There's like pots of tea and like kettles and like mugs, and there's a violin from the other side as well. There's lots of different things for me, and we do these postcards which I've been using to reply to people today. We've got these sets of postcards that they come in packs of 10, and they say things like, "When he saw that twinkle he heard in his head was his heart laughing," which is a quote from On the Other Side. And then there's like pretty designs like this, and it says Only Love Is Spoken here, and there's biscuits and cups and tea, and this says, "To the voices in our heads that tell us we aren't good enough, do be quiet," which is the dedication in All That She Can See. I think this one's one of my favourite ones. I think it's gorgeous. And then there's this one that says, "No, I won't be hopeless. I'm full of hope. I'm hopeful," which is what Evie Snow says in On the Other Side. They're very, very nice postcards. I'm currently raising money for WWF, as in the World Wildlife Fund, not the wrestling, Copperfield, and Girl Guiding. I'm vlogging every day in January in order to raise this money, and I'm giving away lots of prizes, including these sets of these postcards, and lots of signed Addams Family stuff, signed Christmasaurus stuff, backpacks, Polaroids of the entire Addams Family cast. So if you want to donate, you need to go to uk.virginmoneygiving.com/Carrie Hope Fletcher. I think I've got that right. The deadline for donating will be like past the end of January. It'll probably be like February 1st is the end for donations, so that then I can start figuring out, I can start doing the prize draw and figuring out who's winning prizes and all that kind of stuff. What do you think of Pandora charm bracelets? I think they're very nice. I'm not very good with bracelets. I use my hands a lot, especially like when I'm talking, when I'm writing, and I just find that bracelets get a little bit in the way. What does the violin on the pillow represent? The violin is from On the Other Side, because there's a character who is a violinist in the book. Are you going to cut your hair again or grow it out? I'll probably grow it out and then cut it again. How many tattoos do you have now? I have 6 tattoos, and I don't have any plans for any more at the moment. I think 6 is, I'm all even. I've got one's either side here, and I've got 2 on my left foot, 2 on my right foot. So I feel even. I feel symmetrical. So I'm happy. Thank you very much, James Bradley, 73484. That's very, very sweet of you. Someone said, "I love that you wear your Addams Family ring." Yeah, I bought this from TK Maxx because the original ring that they gave me essentially turned into a piece of tin after about 2 months of wearing it. It turned my finger green and it went bronze. So I just went out to TK Maxx and bought myself a new one. So I didn't feel bad when I stole it at the end of the show. How old were you when you did your first show? I was 7 when I was in Les Mis for the first time. Wednesday's crossbow might be on the tea towel in the poster. I think it might be on the apron as well. Sorry for the yawning. Sorry, it might not be on the pillow. The pillow is behind me. I'm looking for it and it's here. No, it's not on the pillow. I think my nails are just about dry. Just. What sort of songs are you going to sing at your concert? A big amalgamation of musical theatre, a couple of pop songs. I'm not going to go too heavy on the pop because I don't feel massively comfortable singing pop songs. I much prefer musical theatre. Some Disney. Basically, I just want to sing songs that I've never really had the chance to sing or never will have the chance to sing. Yeah, so, maybe songs from shows that I've been in, but not songs that I've ever sung before. I probably won't be singing my own songs, no, just because I don't really feel massively comfortable doing that. Yeah. Will you be filming your show and put it on YouTube afterwards? The problem with that is that the venue itself has a licensing fee that you need to pay if you're going to record. If you're going to record the show, which is in the thousands of pounds, sadly. And also, all of the songs that I'm going to sing aren't my own. They're from musicals and they're by various different artists, which means I'd also then have to get permission from those people, which would be virtually impossible, because they all have different licensing and different copyright. And, if one person says no, it just then means I can't put it online. And also, there are 10 musicians that are going to be in the concert with me, all of whom I'd either have to get permission off or would have to pay in order, I'd have to pay them for their work to be put on YouTube. So, sadly not. Not currently, anyway, unless we can find a way around the massive fees or we're able to pay the massive fees. Don't the songs qualify as covers? The songs do qualify as covers, but that doesn't mean that there isn't a copyright issue involved in that. Because even when you post covers on YouTube, sometimes they're blocked in different countries. Like there's a couple of my covers that people outside of the UK can't watch, or people in. So will BBC show it on telly then? No. My concert has nothing to do with the BBC. They won't be showing it on the telly. And you can't monetize any covers that are on YouTube because of the copyright issues. And because it's not just the one song that I'm wanting to put up, it will be like 18 songs or 20 songs that I'll be putting up in one go, which means the copyright issues suddenly becomes a lot bigger. Do you like to connect with your fans or stay distant? It's a really interesting question. It depends what you mean. I like connecting like this. You know, I like doing YouNows, and I like making videos, and I like engaging in comments and tweets. And I like meeting people. I do like meeting people, but whenever I have the opportunity to meet people, it's always when it comes from like a risk. It comes with a risk, rather. Sorry, I'm not speaking properly. Like whenever I get the chance to meet people, it's at Stage Door or at a like convention, like Summer in the City or VidCon, and it never feels. It's always too fast to be an actual connection with someone, because there's always too many people, and if you want all of them to be able to have the same amount of time, and if you want all of them to, you know, get what they want, you know, they want like an autograph or a selfie or a quick hello, you need to then cut that time down to be like 30 seconds to a minute with each person. And how are you supposed to make a genuine connection with someone in 30 seconds? It's really difficult. And sometimes people get so nervous that they don't say anything. They just come up to you, take their selfie, and they go. So it's really hard. It's really hard. I think one of the best times I've had the opportunity to actually genuinely sit and have a chat with people was at VidCon Amsterdam, where I did a creator chat, where I got to sit in a room with like 10, 12 people and actually talk to them for like an hour. And we ran over by half an hour because we were having such a good time. I'm just lucky we didn't get kicked out of the room that we were in. But we got to chat, and they asked me questions, and then I asked them questions, and then we all just had a really like wonderful conversation and discussion about so many things that well went past the boundaries of YouTube. And it was amazing. It was amazing. I had the best time. And if I could do that more often, then great. But being able to do that more often, like there's the opportunity to do that is limited. There aren't many opportunities to do that, and it's very, very sad. It's difficult. Have you ever been starstruck? Yeah, I met Martin Short at the Frank and Weenie premiere, and that was amazing. I love Martin Short. I love this film called One Simple Wish, or A Simple Wish, I can't remember. But that film was such a big part of my childhood. And he plays a fairy godmother in it. A male fairy godmother, and he's just amazing. I love that film so much. And so when I got to meet him, I was like, this is really cool. This is really cool. When do you find out who else is in the cast after being told you've got the role? That's a really good question. Usually when the press release comes out. Sometimes you find out through other people because, you know, you tell, like when I got into the Addams Family, I was like, you know, someone said, what's your next job? And I was like, I'm going to be in the Addams Family. And they were like, oh my God, my friend Cameron Blakely is going to be in the Addams Family. And I was like, oh my God, I know Cameron too. And so I messaged him straight away and was like, is it true? Are you going to be Gomez? And he was like, yep. So sometimes you find out that way, but usually it's just when the press release comes out that you find out who the entire cast is. So yeah, like there's a job that I've signed on to do next year, and I have no idea who else is in the cast at the moment. Like no idea, and I probably won't know until they A, email me to tell me who the cast is, or B, the press release is released. The press release comes out. How do you eat healthy whilst on tour? You don't. It's really difficult. That's why I've put on like so much weight in the last 2 years. It's because you just can't eat healthily when you don't have a kitchen. Suddenly when you're in digs, when you've got a kitchen, you're like, right, come on guys, let's cook that veg. Let's have granola for breakfast. Let's not just go out and eat poached eggs with hollandaise sauce covering the top of it. Thank you very much, Camille P. Yeah, it's hard. It's so hard to eat healthy on tour. But I'm on it now. I'm back at the gym. I'm back exercising, which I haven't done properly in a long time. You get fooled. Thank you very much, Calypso Pal. You get fooled into thinking that you're doing a good workout because you sweat so much during a show. But then you come home and eat a Domino's. So, it kind of doesn't really balance itself out. So I need to be healthier because I'm not healthy at all at the moment. I've been alright since I've been okay. But the last 6 months have been disgusting. So yeah. I'm going to start doing Bikram yoga because I'm interested about Bikram yoga. I think I'd really enjoy it from every angle. I'd enjoy it from an exercise perspective. I'd enjoy it from a stretching perspective because I've got a really bad back. Ever since I fell over a small child in Chitty, I did my back in. And apparently yoga helps that kind of crap. And Bikram yoga is when you're in a really, really hot room. It's sort of like a sauna, which means you sweat more. And Bikram yoga is the same 26 poses in the same order every time you go. So it means I'd be able to get better at it, which is something that I'm really interested in. It means it's something that I'll be able to actually track my progress because it's the same thing every time for the same amount of time. And so it's something that I'd be able to get better at. And because it's hot in the room, it helps you stretch, and I think that'd help my back, and I've got a bit of a dodgy knee and dodgy ankles as well. So, and also just from a mental point of view as well, you're in a quiet room. I'm assuming there's some kind of music playing and you're breathing and stuff. I just think from a mental point, perspective, it'd be a very, very cathartic thing to do. So I'm going to try and do that next year. I'm excited to try that next year. Yeah, I did Zumba once as well, and that killed me as well. That's far too energetic for me. I love a good cross trainer. I was told, so basically I had a bit of a feet issues when I was in Les Mis, and Les Mis have a physio that you can go and see if you get injured during the show, that the company pay for, which is amazing. So I went to see this physio because one of the arches in my feet fell, and it was very, very painful. And when you're running around, climbing up barricades and stuff, it's vital that you're in, you've got good physical fitness. So I went to see this physio, and he was feeling my feet and my ankles, and he was like, "Do you ever use the treadmill?" And I was like, "No." He was like, "Do you ever run at all?" And I was like, "Only if you're talking about for the bus. I run for the bus occasionally, that's about it." And he was like, "Yeah, never run with these feet." And I was like, "Seriously?" And he was like, "Yeah, never ever run with the ankles and feet that you have. Only ever use the cross trainer." So the cross trainer is what I go for. Yeah. That is my very, very boring story about my body that's slowly falling apart. Yeah, I really like exercise that doesn't make it feel like it's exercise. If it's dancing, I've loved dancing in Christmasaurus, because it's something that, again, I can get better at. I know that I'm doing it well if the moves are right and that I'm in sync with everyone else. And it doesn't feel like exercise because I know I'm getting out of breath and I can feel myself absolutely drenched in sweat. But it doesn't feel like exercise because it feels like a task that I'm completing. How much do you adore Katie Bradley, though? I adore her a lot. She's amazing. She's so much fun. Oh, she's great. I love her. If you were in a show that you've already been in, would you want to play the same part or would you want to play a different part? If so, what? Good question. Depends what show you're talking about. If it was The Addams Family, I'd love to play Wednesday again. If it was Les Mis, I'd love to go back in as Fantine. I don't think I could go back in as Eponine, because I feel like I've sort of closed the chapter on her now. Yeah. I'd like to go back in as Fantine if I could. One day. Oh dear. Sorry for the yawning. I'm going to leave in like 10 minutes, just to let you know. Which musicals do you want to see soon? I mean, I know it's not a musical, but I really want to see Harry Potter and the Cursed Child again. I want to see Book of Mormon. I've still not seen Book of Mormon. I know. I really want to see it. What else do I want to see? I cannot wait to see Eugenius because Scott, Jake, and Cameron are all in it, and I'm going to see that next year when that's finally up and running. I think Scott has already secured me tickets for this. I'd like to see Young Frankenstein at some point, because I love the movie of that, and I hear the musical is great. Hamilton, I really want to see. Oh, there's so much I want to see, but hopefully next year I'm going to have the time to see all these shows. I'd love to see Kinky Boots again. Thank you very much, Riona W. I hope I'm saying that right, Riona. So yeah, there's lots of stuff I'd like to see. School of Rock, yeah, I need to see that. I haven't seen that yet. Would you like to see one of your books turned into a play or a musical? I'd love that. I don't know how it'd be done though, but I'd love that. Thoughts on Wicked? I love Wicked. I'd love to be in that show one day. One day. If Singing in the Rain came to the West End, would you audition? I don't think I'm a strong enough dancer for Singing in the Rain. See, I'm one of those people where I can learn a routine if someone works with me. And tap is actually my strongest dance, style of dance. But for shows like that, they want someone to go into the audition and already nail it. And I don't think I could do that. But if I was given the chance, I know I could absolutely nail it. Thank you very much, Peter H. I know I could nail it. If given the chance and if someone worked with me, if I had like a bit of time, I know I'd be able to do it. It's just being able to, it's just being given that chance. Thank you very much, Philip. So yeah, it's difficult because sometimes even though you've got the capability to do something, it's all about being given the chance to show that you can do it, which is sometimes the hardest part about being in theatre. It's really, really difficult. Did you do dance when you were younger? Yeah, I did a lot of dance when I was younger. I did tap, modern, ballet. That was it, tap, modern, and ballet. Ballet I gave up quite quickly though, and continued with tap and modern. And then when I was like 15, 16, 17, 16, 17, I took up classes at Pineapple for like a year and did like 3 lessons a week, every week. I'd love to play Roxy Hart. I don't really know Chicago as well as I should do. It's one of those films that I would like to watch and or see the show if... Oh, it is coming back, isn't it? Forgot about that. Is there anything you would never audition for? I don't know, never say never. Oh, we're going to make 5,000 likes by the time I leave in 4 minutes. If you weren't in theatre, what job would you have? We've made 5,000 likes far quicker than I thought. I probably would still be in the entertainment industry in some shape or form. Like I maybe would have gone to school and finished education and gone into like the editing industry or something like that, like book editing. Do you ever get annoyed by people always approaching you when you're out? I think it depends what the situation is. If I'm just stood, on my own in a shop or something, or, I'm at a station waiting for a train, that's absolutely fine because I'm not doing anything. I'm not in a rush to go anywhere. If you're stood at the train station too, we're both in the same boat. We're both just waiting for a train. So come, why not come over? But I always feel, I think it's like when people are with like family or, at dinner somewhere with family or friends, or they're like, you can see they're in a rush to go somewhere. I feel like then is the time when you kind of go, is me asking for a selfie at this opportune moment going to hinder what they're currently doing? And is my selfie more important than what they're doing? I think it's just about common sense, and it's just about judging the situation. Because also, like, I've seen it happen where if someone famous is sat, or someone that, is easily recognisable is sat at dinner with their family and friends, and one person goes up and asks for a picture, suddenly everyone else who's been sat around them, who's been going, should I go up, should I go up, should I go up? And then they see one person go up and the famous person says, yes, of course you can take a picture. Suddenly everyone goes, oh, it's fine. And then there's suddenly a queue from their table round the restaurant of people wanting to take photos. And that one person who only took 10 seconds suddenly turns into 20 people taking 20 minutes. So it's all about just judging the situation and thinking about people as human beings. And, whether you would like to be put in that situation, I guess. Right, one last question before I leave. Favourite song in the Christmasaurus? I really love Christmas Makes Me Sick. I think Giovanna singing that is incredible and the lyrics are so good. And I love the bum ba-na-na-no, don't da-na-na-no. Like, I love that. I think that's amazing. And I really love the Nice List. Because I love being part of that. It's kind of like Thin Ice and Good Girl come with a certain amount of pressure for me because I'm like the sole one singing it and performing it, and I can't screw up. If I do, it'd be very, very noticeable if I screwed up. But nice list, I'm in that number, but I'm not the primary person singing. I have a couple lines here and there, and my role is just to take the piss out of the nice listers, which is just a lot of fun. Right, time for me to go because I've got some stuff to do before the night is out. But I wish you all lots of love. I hope you have a wonderful Boxing Day. I hope you've all had a wonderful Christmas, and I shall see you very soon. Goodbye.